What's going on, folks? It is the best gamer in the whole wide world, and we're going to be talking about the worst skills in Arc Raiders. Yes, I know, folks, we are going to be talking about the worst ones because let me tell you, folks, there are some pretty bad skills for you guys to avoid. Take my advice if you guys need it. Honestly, you guys can say, you know what, dude, I know you're the best gamer of all time, but you know what? Screw you, dude. I'm going to do my own thing. Look, just try to listen to my point. And we'll, maybe it might help you. Maybe it might make you realize a few things. Starting for the first one, we're going to actually do crawl before you walk. Now, the crawl before you walk skill is something I talked about on stream, which is basically like, it's a skill where if you go down, you crawl faster. This is just a stupid, there's just a lot of better choices out there. It's not really a great skill whatsoever. Honestly, this skill, I don't understand it really. So if you're by yourself and you're playing single player, you crawling faster doesn't really do anything. You can make a few points, I guess, if you're with a team and you're always playing with your friends, and maybe that's when you want to, pick this skill up and actually crawl to your teammates faster. But even then, I like skills that actually wouldn't want you to go down. I think this skill is actually something everyone should avoid, and you guys should actually be picking up skills that will help you maintain and help you actually stay up and into the fight and just last longer. So here's another skill right here. We talked about turtle crawl. Now, let me tell you, turtle crawl is while you're down, you take less damage. It's the same thing as the last skill, which is basically when you're down, now you're not crawling faster, now you just take less damage. It's very stupid in my eyes, and it literally, we can just shorten this up as just like with the other skill. It just is useless. It doesn't really do anything on saving the player. It's just not worth it at all. So just avoid the skill. Like I said, you don't want to pick skills while you're already down. Pick skills that can help you stand up. Another skill that I actually recommend for people to avoid is actually effortless roll. Now, I know this actually is a controversial one, but basically you only get one extra roll if you're at max level, right? So if you're at max level, you have 5 points in effortless roll, then you actually get a max roll into it. It doesn't really do much. It doesn't really help you out really. Now, once again, you can make an argument about why people would put a point into this. It's just that you're not really getting that much value out of it unless you put all 5 points in it, so you can get a 5. You can actually get an additional roll into it. Another skill is actually the heroic leap. You can sprint, dodge, roll further. It's almost, to be honest with you, with my, with me playing the game as long as I have, I realize this doesn't really do that much distance. It's only a little bit of a distance. It doesn't do much. And also when I play with friends and everybody and people who put lots of hours in this game are even telling me now that this skill isn't really enough to write home about. Skills like stamina regain become more valuable, but this right here is just, I will only pick it up if you really need to move up the skill tree. But even then, probably just try to pedal back and see what you can do. Blastborn is another skill that I recommend not many people to actually pick up. So it's actually, your hearing is less affected by nearby explosions. Now on paper, since audio is so important in Arc Raiders, people would actually think, oh, okay, maybe I should pick up this skill. But folks, this skill is actually not that great, and it's actually a skill that I highly recommend to avoid. You can still be sneak up on. There's still people that are going to be running to you, and especially, as more as this game evolves too, because I've been playing games where there's people just crouching. People crouching everywhere, being like little spiders, coming in and actually killing you. So honestly, Blastborn, maybe when the game first launched, you can make a case that this skill is actually really important. But as time goes on, as players start to get better, as players start to become little spiders, start hiding around everywhere, Blastborn is just going to be a skill that's going to be left behind. So I recommend people to actually not get this skill. I think there's actually better skills out there. That's just my opinion. Obviously, you can get this skill, so maybe you can move up if you want, but then again, if you start moving up that skill, you actually get the turtle crawl skill that I was talking about, and turtle crawl skill is not even that great either to be moving up to. Honestly, like I said, I think the green skill tree needs to probably add more skills that are much more to be desired. I think the green skill tree is probably the weakest one out of all the 3 skill trees. Real quick, folks, if you guys actually like this content and if you guys really want to support the channel, become a member today. There is links in the description and all of them will help me out. You know, if you guys actually want to become a member, that would be amazing. If you guys want to check out my other channel, that will also be cool, where I do deep dives on horror games that are actually will keep you up at night. So folks, if you guys can actually check out that type of content, that would be gladly appreciated, because you know I spent a lot of time making this content. But anyways, let's skip right back into the video. So calming stroll. So if you guys actually watch my streams, calming stroll is a skill that I absolutely do not like whatsoever. If you're walking, your stamina gets increased faster, right? But here's the thing though, you're constantly moving around. Now they did buff this skill to make this skill a little bit better, which is that if you're actually aiming your gun, which is walking essentially, you actually get your stamina slow regen for slow walking. So you get your stamina up faster by just aiming the gun, which is actually a little bit better. But does that mean that the skill is worth picking up? No, this skill is still not worth picking up, folks. I recommend not to get this skill. It is completely useless. I know a lot of people, you know, told me in the comments with the previous video right here. Here, we're gonna pop it up right now. You know, a lot of people were talking about it. It's like calming stroll is a great skill, but personally, I just don't see it. Even with the buff, I still don't see it. So another skill that I actually really want to talk about, that I recommend not people actually picking up unless you absolutely want to, is actually the squat skill, which is basically stamina regeneration while crouch is increased. Now in case you don't know, if you're crouched, right, you still get stamina back, but you won't get as much stamina if you were standing up. So if you were standing up, you will actually be getting more stamina back. Now, I wish this skill kind of clarified that, which is why I'm putting the skill on. Now, if someone could correct me in the comments, this skill doesn't really, like, because with some testing that I've seen personally by me playing the game, if I'm crouched and stationary, I think I'm getting a little bit more stamina, but if I'm moving while crouched, I'm not actually getting that much stamina compared to just me standing up and doing a light jog. Now, you know, if anyone wants to correct me in the comments on that, you know, feel free, but I actually don't think this skill is actually that great. I don't think it's worth it, but that's just my opinion. Well, folks, the best gamer of all time is going to be signing off, but thank you guys for watching this quick video, and make sure that you guys pick the best skills in the game. And also, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, folks, I actually am going to be doing a video about the best skills that you guys should pick up in the game, so make sure you actually stay tuned for that, because I am going to be making that video out pretty soon. Okay, now I'm going to leave. Thank you guys for watching.